Hi, I'm Susan Zimet, and thank you for joining me tonight. I'm here to ask you to vote for me on November 5th so I can return as your town supervisor and continue to serve the community that I love so dearly. My husband and I, Steve Auerbach, moved here 35 years ago, and we've loved every single day that we've been here. We had the honor of raising our two children, Andrew and Hannah, putting them through the New Paltz Public School, having them go through Little League, through arts, through music, and it's been an incredible experience for my children, and I want your children to have the same opportunity. A number of years ago, I was asked to serve as your supervisor, and I gladly did that. I then served 8 years in the county legislature. 2 years ago, leaders of all the political persuasions were facing a crisis in New Paltz and asked me to return to try to help this town out of a fiscal mess that they saw happening all around them. I returned because I love this community so dearly and felt that that was where I needed to be at this moment in time. Unfortunately, the fiscal mess was greater than any of us could have ever imagined. So we had to roll up our sleeves, and with an incredible staff, we worked really, really hard to get this town back on solvent fiscal ground. And we've done that, and it's a great accomplishment. We saved this town $1 million of spending that didn't need to be spent, and that spending it spended, and that's money back in your pockets. We reduced taxes 4.4%, and this year I proposed a 4% reduction. Holding property tax down is one of the most important things that we could do for you because people cannot afford to live in this community. And we want people to be able to stay here, retire here, and raise families here. Talking about property tax, it's a very, very, very big issue and one that I've been working on for a very long time. For over 20 years, I've been working on looking to see how we could get school taxes off of property taxes because that is the greatest crisis in property tax. We're up in Albany talking to them all the time and seeing how we can move forward. In terms of property tax, we have a big project called Park Point right now here in New Paltz. And Park Point is only a real problem, but it's symbolic of the bigger problem of the fact that not everybody is paying their fair share of taxes. Again, people need to be able to live in New Paltz, and it's a great crisis for many of us. As we move forward going into next year, we need to be looking at how we're going to be solving our property tax crisis. New York State is a home rule state, and what that means is that the local government has a lot of power, and we're exploring ways that as a home rule town, we can use the power of local government to actually implement policy that will take the burden off of the taxpayers and have more equity. And that's a really, really exciting project that we're working on with leaders in the state that are experts in fiscal policy. One of the things that we're looking forward to doing next year also is how to create a real sustainable model for New Paltz. New Paltz prides itself on its environmental stewardship. We protected the wetlands. We basically are doing a lot of stewardship on our open space. We really, really care about the environment, and that's one of the most important things that I've fought on through my career. The environment can't speak for itself. It needs us to speak for it. We're going through a real severe climate change right now. The country is looking at using extreme energy. We have to step back from that. We've had massive flooding in New Paltz. We've experienced Superstorm Sandy. We've experienced Hurricane Irene, and we need Hurricane Lee, and we need to protect ourselves as we move forward. The state government, Governor Cuomo, has this program called New York Rising, which will give $3 million to the town of New Paltz, $3 million to the village, and if we work together, we will get $9 million. Unfortunately, we are working together to get that $9 million, and we're looking at projects that will create a resilient community to protect us from flooding in the future, whether it's raising potential roads, whether it's creating a firehouse west of the Wallkill. We're looking at all these different things, but we're working together. And that's something that's really, really important, is how we all work together. New Paltz is a very, very, very diverse community with people with lots of different points of view, and people are really emotional, and people are very political, and people really are very passionate. And that's really wonderful. However, what we need to do is learn as a community how to come together and try to solve problems together and talk to each other in a very, very civil way to sort of say, how do we solve this problem together instead of attacking each other like we seem to do? And consolidation, I think, is a perfect example of a lost opportunity for this community. For 40 years, this community has talked about consolidation. And for 40 years, it's gone up and down and up and down. Finally, there was an opportunity for this community to study whether or not we want to consolidate or not. The goal was to look at, should we consolidate or shouldn't we? What's the benefit if we do or we don't? what would be the savings that we would get or not get. We needed to get to the answers, and we needed to have a conversation civilly to get to those answers. Unfortunately, what ended up happening is emotion ruled, and it ended up becoming very controversial, and it was a very difficult time for the entire community. However, ultimately, what's really important is that we discuss these issues together, we listen to each other, we respect each other, and then ultimately the voters of New Paltz determine their fate. And it shouldn't be up to 10 elected officials to decide what the voters of New Paltz should or shouldn't vote on. However, what's really, really great that's going on right now is the town and village have come together to do a joint master plan. And that is an amazing opportunity for this community, because finally we will have the village and town talking about what is the vision of our community, the community of New Paltz, which we all live in. The master plan is a vision of how we're all going to live together in the future and where we're going to go. So that's very, very exciting. Another thing that's really exciting that I'm really looking forward to working on next year is this community water plan that we're developing. The community for a long time has known that they were going to have the aqueducts shut off and New Paltz would not have any water. So for 10 years, people have been talking and talking about how to do this, but time is running out and we needed a solution. Fortunately, I know the New York City DEP commissioner. I reached out to him and said, the town has an awful lot of water. We're looking to develop our own water source. Can we be of help to you? Within days, the DEP was in my office. We sat, we talked, and we came up with a way that we could work together. Bringing in the village board agreed and said, this is a great idea. Let's work together. And now the DEP, in 2 short months, is committed to spending $600,000 to investigate how we can create our own water system. Now, understand, water is the liquid gold of the future, and any community that has its own water will be in control of its own destiny, and it's probably one of the most important things we could be doing. And we actually, within the last 2 months, just pulled together an amazing accomplishment by getting this together and getting the DEP willing to pay for this, and it's really, really exciting. Another thing that we're really looking forward to working on going forward is what's called the Solutions Program. And what that's all about is leaders who have been working against fracking in the state and beyond understand that we can't always be against something, we have to be for something, and we have to create opportunities. So what we're looking to do is working with leaders throughout the state and our community together, figuring out how we could create a renewable future, bring in amazing jobs that will create opportunities for our children to be able to stay in New Paltz and have really good jobs, but also stop this climate change that is devastating all of us so our children can have a future. New Paltz is already well on its way to being a sustainable model community. We were honored to be put by the Environmental Protection Agency to be a pilot program for the Zero Waste Initiative. And that means we're trying to look at how we can cut down on our waste and not be burdening the Earth's crust with garbage, and recycling and reuse. And our recycling center is absolutely amazing. And if you have not been up to our new reuse center that was built with the DEC grant, please go up and visit it because it's pretty amazing. New Paltz is already home to 2 single-family, net zero, energy efficient homes that are models nationally and internationally. What that means is these homes use no fossil fuel whatsoever, and it's all solar and geothermal, and they're amazing projects that are getting attention all over the world. They're already here, they're already in New Paltz. We have the opportunity here, the will, the vision, and the capacity to basically make New Paltz a renewable model that leads the state and nationally. We just need to do it together. We need to do it as a community. We need to come together. We just got a grant, a $10,000 grant. Matching grant is a $20,000 grant to put a bicycle path, to plan a bicycle path that goes from the village out to the mountains so people can drive safely out towards the mountains without getting hurt on 299. That's only the beginning. There's many other phases in the work in order to make New Paltz a bicycle-friendly community. It's a time for us to come together as a community and keep moving forward to make this place affordable. One of the benefits that I bring to this community after all of these years in office is the contacts that I have on a county, state, and federal level. And the benefits of those help us to be able to get the money that we need to pay for all of the projects that we need to do. So, for example, right now we have this amazing opportunity, Sewer 6, which is a small sewer plant for very few people who have never been able to afford that sewer plant since the day it was been built, has been getting paid for by the rest of us taxpayers, which we should not be doing. Those taxpayers there at Sewer 6 could never pay us back. We now have a situation where we have the federal and state government working with us to give a grant to fix that sewer plant and pay all of us back for the money that we've laid out to the sewer plant. We're working with the state and federal and county government to fix the flooding problems that we have so people aren't stranded on the west side of the Wallkill. The contacts that I have with with the senators, the assembly people, the governor, and County Executive Michael Hine is a benefit to this community because I can call them, talk to them, and have them come and help us. They're all ready and willing and able to stand here and help New Paltz. They want to help New Paltz. They believe in New Paltz. And one of the reasons why they want to work with us is because they believe in my leadership and my ability to lead projects, get projects done, focus on the project, not on the politics, and help to deliver what this community needs. What I'm asking for is on November 5th for you to please return me to office so we can continue the incredible work that we're doing, whether it's getting bicycle paths for the community, whether it's getting a pavilion done out at the recreation field so we can have tournaments and create revenue for this community, whether it's getting a dog park up so all of you dog lovers can go and socialize and be with each other while your dogs play. From the small to the big, we need to focus on New Paltz and do what we can to continue to make this community the livable community that we live in. And we needed to do it together. We need to do it as a community. We need to respect each other, and we need to do it with the leadership and experience that I hope to bring to this community. So thank you very much for sharing this time with me. I really look forward to you coming out and voting on November 5th, and I really look forward to continuing to serve you and serve the community that I love. Thank you.